Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Tanvi Taneja, coming up in the next 30 minutes. ISRO successfully performs space docking experiment SpaDeX, becomes the 4th country in the world to master the docking technology. Israel accuses Hamas of reneging on parts of the Gaza ceasefire deal. EU announces new $123 million humanitarian aid package for Gaza. UK and Ukraine sign 100-year partnership deal. Prime Minister Starmer vows to put Kiev in the strongest position against Russia ahead of Donald Trump's return to the White House. And Bollywood actor Saif Ali Khan out of danger in an attempted burglary at his Bandra residence. Mumbai police releases first image of the attacker. In a historic moment for India, Indian Space Research Organisation ISRO successfully performed the docking of satellites as part of the space docking experiment or SpaDeX.
3, 2, 1, 0.
India achieves major milestones in space missions as the Indian Space Research Organisation on Thursday successfully completed the docking process of the SpaDeX satellites. This milestone places India among an elite group of nations, joining the United States, Russia, and China in demonstrating the complex capability of satellite docking. Announcing the achievement, ISRO said, "Spacecraft docking successfully completed. A historic moment. Let's walk through the SpaDeX docking process. Maneuver from 15-meter to 3-meter hold point completed. Docking initiated with precision, leading to successful spacecraft capture. Retraction completed smoothly, followed by rigidization for stability. Docking successfully completed." India's President Draupadi Murmu, Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated ISRO and the Indian space community for achieving a significant milestone with the successful space docking of satellites. In a post on X, PM Modi lauded the efforts of Indian scientists, stating, "Congratulations to our scientists at ISRO and the entire space fraternity for the successful demonstration of space docking of satellites. It is a significant stepping stone for India's ambitious space missions in the years to come." ISRO had successfully launched the SpaDeX mission on December 30, 2024, with the primary goals of space docking. The PSLV C-60 rocket carrying 2 small satellites, SDX-01 Chaser and SDX-02 Target, along with 24 payloads, had lifted off from the first launchpad of the Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota, and about 15 minutes after liftoff, the 2 small spacecraft, weighing about 220 kg each, were launched into the 475-kilometer circular orbit as intended. SpaDeX is a revolutionary technology demonstrator designed to test the intricate process of docking 2 small spacecraft in low Earth orbit. This critical capability represents a giant leap for India's future space missions, including the much-anticipated Gaganyaan human space flight program, the upcoming Chandrayaan-4 lunar mission, and the envisioned Indian space station. Shivali Kumari's report for DD India.
India's Union Cabinet, chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, today approved the establishment of the 3rd Launchpad at Satish Dhawan Space Center of ISRO at Sriharikota, Andhra Pradesh. The total fund requirement is over 3,984 crore rupees, including the establishment of the Launchpad and the associated facilities.
3rd Launchpad को आज सैंक्शन किया गया है 3,985 करोड़ से। अगले 30 वर्षों को ध्यान में रखते हुए इस इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की डिज़ाइन की जा रही है। आप सब जानते हैं कि 2 बड़े मिशन लिए गए हैं, जिसमें भारत अंतरिक्ष स्पेस स्टेशन बनेगा और बाय 2040 मून पर भारतीय पहुंचने की एक बड़ा जो मिशन हाथ में लिया हुआ है, उसमें इस प्रोजेक्ट का बहुत बड़ा रोल रहेगा। थर्ड लॉन्च पैड का बहुत बड़ा रोल रहेगा. With the approval of the third launch pad, this huge space sector startup ecosystem which has got created, that will get a major boost. उनको एक नई फैसिलिटी मिलेगी, उनको एक नई कैपेबिलिटी मिलेगी.
Briefing media, ISRO Chief Dr. V. Narayanan highlighted that the project envisages the establishment of the launch infrastructure at Sriharikota for the next generation launch vehicles of ISRO.
We are having right now 2 launch pads operational. In the first launch pad, we can launch PSLV vehicle. And second launch pad, we can launch the LVM-3 and GSLV Mark II vehicles. Honorable Prime Minister has already given the approval for the next generation launcher, NGLV. That capability is almost, the Mark III vehicle capability is 8,000 kg to low Earth orbit. This vehicle capability is 30,000 kg to low Earth orbit. And the vehicle size is something around 91 meter height. Almost 2.2 times height of the Mark III vehicle. And the lift-off mass is 1,000 ton, almost 1.5 times of Mark III vehicle. So this launch pad is capable of handling that vehicle, NGLV.
Also in the cabinet meeting, Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav said that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has approved the 8th pay commission for all central government employees and pensioners.
माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने केंद्र सरकार के सभी कर्मचारियों के लिए 8th सेंट्रल पे कमीशन को मंजूरी दे दी है. प्रधानमंत्री जी ने एक रेगुलर रिदम के साथ पे कमीशन बनाने का जो एक संकल्प लिया है, उसके हिसाब से 2016 में लास्ट पे कमीशन 7th पे कमीशन स्टार्ट हुआ था, तो 2026 में इसका टर्म कंप्लीट होता है. उससे वेल बिफोर 2025 में 8th पे कमीशन स्टैब्लिश करने से सफिशिएंट टाइम मिलेगा so that the recommendations can be received well before the completion of the period of 7th pay commission.
India's President Draupadi Murmu accorded a ceremonial welcome to the President of Singapore, Tharman Shanmugaratnam, at the forecourt of Rashtrapati Bhavan on Thursday. Prime Minister Narendra Modi was also present on the occasion. Shanmugaratnam inspected a guard of honour, after which he met with various delegates. Speaking on the occasion, he said that since Singapore's independence in 1965, the relations between both the countries have grown by bounds. Shanmugaratnam added that the two countries are exploring initiatives in sustainability and digital peace, and digital space. The Singapore president said that they are working on cooperating on semiconductors and net zero industrial parks. Shanmugaratnam said that both the countries are now on a new trajectory with the upgrade of their relations to a comprehensive strategic partnership, which was announced during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's last visit to Singapore in September last year.
India was one of the first few countries to recognize Singapore's independence in 1965, and since then our relationship has grown by bounds. It's a natural partnership between a small country, Singapore, and a very large country, India, but we found ways to cooperate in ways that are our mutual interests in a whole range of areas. Our business relationships are thriving. In fact, Singapore is the largest investor in India for many years now. Our defense relationship is strong. Our relationship in skilling has been very active in recent years, and it continues to grow.
The Singapore president later visited Rajghat and paid tributes to father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi. President Tharman will hold discussions with President Draupadi Murmu at the Rashtrapati Bhavan this evening. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will also meet with the President of Singapore. The state visit by the island country's president marks the 60th anniversary of diplomatic relations between India and Singapore. India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh on Thursday held a telephonic conversation with the UK Secretary of State for Defence John Haley. The two ministers briefly discussed the ongoing defence cooperation issues and emphasised on the need to maintain the momentum in bilateral ties. Defence Minister of India and the UK Secretary of State for Defence reviewed the excellent progress made between the two countries in niche defence technology, such as that of electric propulsion and jet engines. They expressed satisfaction over the recent signing of the Statement of Intent on electric propulsion. The two ministers also reviewed the ongoing program on the exchange of military instructors in each other's training institutes. With the increased focus of the UK on the Indo-Pacific, both sides will explore the possibilities of joint work and enhanced maritime engagements in 2025. In a move to strengthen bilateral ties and focus on advanced energy cooperation between India and the United States, the Biden administration on Wednesday announced to lift sanctions on the three Indian entities: Indian Rare Earths, Indira Gandhi Atomic Research Center and Bhabha Atomic Research Center. According to the US Bureau of Industry and Security, the removal of these entities will support US foreign policy objectives by reducing barriers to advanced energy cooperation, including joint research and development and science and technology cooperation towards shared energy security needs and goals. The official release comes a week after US National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan made the announcement on Washington's behalf during his visit to New Delhi. Bureau of Industry and Security also added 11 entities to its entity list, targeting organizations in China for activities contrary to US national security and foreign policy interests. Less than 24 hours after Saif Ali Khan was stabbed multiple times in his Bandra apartment, a CCTV image has emerged showing the attacker running away from the staircase after the incident. The attacker, who stabbed Saif Ali Khan inside his 12th floor apartment in Bandra early on Thursday, is seen on the staircase of the 6th floor in the CCTV footage. Bollywood actor Saif Ali Khan was stabbed at least 6 times by an unidentified attacker who entered his Mumbai home in a burglary attempt on Thursday. After the attack, Saif was admitted to Lilavati Hospital, where he is undergoing treatment and was reportedly out of danger. CEO of Lilavati Hospital said 2 of his injuries are deeper. One of the injuries is closer to his spine. A total of 40 aircraft, including 22 fighter jets, 11 transport aircraft and 7 helicopters will participate in the flypast on the 76th Republic Day. Sukhoi, Jaguar, Rafale jets will be the star attractions at the Kartavya Path.
Formation is beam formation comprising of 1 C-17 and 2 Su-30. We have Amrit formation, which is pure fighter formation, comprising of 5 Jaguar aircraft, Vajrang formation, comprising of 6 Rafales, Trishul formation, 3 Su-30s flying in Vic formation. The flypast will culminate with single Rafale carrying out a vertical Charlie after crossing the dais.
Agniveers will also be part of the marching contingent this time. They will comprise of 144 in number. The marching contingent will also be accompanied by the Air Force Band, comprising of 72 musicians, led by Sergeant Charles Daniel.
The AF marching contingent will consist of 4 officers and 144 other personnel, marching in a box formation of 12 rows and 12 columns. The marching contingent will be led by Commander M. Singh. Air warriors participating in the RD parade have been selected through a stringent process from across the Air Force. The contingent undergoes an intensive practice session of 7 to 8 hours every day, starting at the VRs around 4 a.m. in the morning. 121 musicians of IAF will participate in the beating retreat ceremony. The conductor for this ceremony will be Warrant Officer Ashok Kumar.
The Bharat Mobility Global Expo will be held in New Delhi from January 17th to 22nd, 2025. The event will feature major automakers unveiling and launching a range of concept and production-ready vehicles. Prime Minister Modi will inaugurate the second edition of the event. DT India's Tapas Bhattacharya has more.
Welcome to Bharat Mobility Global Expo 2025, India's premier global mobility show, bringing the world's leading automotive and mobility players under one roof.
Now in its second edition, Bharat Mobility Global Expo will be inaugurated by Prime Minister Modi on Friday. The event is a game changer for the mobility industry, uniting the entire value chain to co-create the future of mobility. The theme for 2025, Beyond Boundaries, Co-creating Future automotive value chain emphasizes collaboration, innovation, and sustainability to drive cutting-edge advancements. Spanning over 200,000 square meters across three iconic venues, Bharat Mandapam in New Delhi, Yashobhumi in Dwarka, and India Expo Center and Mart in Greater Noida, the 6-day extravaganza promises unparalleled opportunities to connect, innovate, and inspire. With over 9 concurrent shows and 500,000 visitors expected, the Expo showcases the full spectrum of mobility solutions, from electric and hybrid vehicles to connected and autonomous technologies, sustainable urban transport systems, battery technologies, and beyond. International participation is at an all-time high, with 5,100 global players joining forces to shape the future of mobility. Adding to the excitement are 15-plus conferences, bringing industry leaders together to share insights and spark new ideas.
The good part about the show is like we get the entire audience of the industry, right from the top decision makers, from CEOs to purchase heads to right to the bottom level of probably aftermarket mechanics. So we get the entire spectrum of the automotive industry at the show.
Supported by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry and hosted by leading industry associations, Bharat Mobility Global Expo 2025 highlights India's growing prominence on the global mobility stage.
Bharat Mobility Global Expo 2025 is shaping the future of mobility in the country. The event is an opportunity to connect, innovate, and inspire. Bharat Mobility Global Expo 2025 is where the future of mobility begins. With camera person Gaurav Giri, this is Taposh Bhattacharya for DD India from Delhi.
Still to come on this edition of DD India Live. US investment research firm Hindenburg shuts down. We'll tell you why. US Ambassador to India Eric Gossetti says 2611 accused Tahabur Rana will likely be extradited to India soon.
झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया।
हम मूंगफली बेचते हैं, अपना अकल नहीं। ये मैसेज देखिए, कहते हैं लॉटरी लगी है, लिंक क्लिक करके यूपीआई पिन डालो पैसा मिलेगा। अरे हमको मालूम नहीं है क्या, इधर यूपीआई पिन डाला उधर पैसा गायब। मूंगफली वाला हूँ, मूर्ख नहीं हूँ। याद रहे, यूपीआई कहता है अगर कोई लालच दे तो कहो मैं मूर्ख नहीं हूँ।
रिटायरमेंट प्लानिंग के लिए तेरा एसआईपी के बारे में क्या ख्याल है?
रिटायरमेंट
अभी तो पूरी लाइफ बाकी है यार। और तुझे नहीं लगता अगर रिटायरमेंट के बारे में अभी से नहीं सोचे तो आगे जाके प्रॉब्लम होगी?
पर रिटायरमेंट के बारे में सोचना क्यों है इतना जरूरी? जब तक आप रिटायर हो जाएंगे महंगाई काफी ज्यादा बढ़ जाएगी और आपकी इनकम वो तो रुक ही जाएगी। इसीलिए आज ही म्यूचुअल फंड्स में एसआईपी शुरू कीजिए और हर महीने थोड़ा थोड़ा करके धन इकट्ठा कीजिए एक कंफर्टेबल रिटायर्ड लाइफ जीने के लिए। अधिक जानकारी के लिए अपने वित्तीय सलाहकार से परामर्श करें। LIC म्यूचुअल फंड द्वारा निवेशक शिक्षा की एक पहल। म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार जोखिम के अधीन है। योजना से संबंधित सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
You're watching DD India Live. I'm Tanvi Taneja. An oil spill in the Kerch Strait originating from storm-damaged tankers has prompted Russia to form an emergency task force after the situation escalated, impacting surrounding regions. More than 10,000 people have been working to shovel up the fuel oil from the sandy beaches in and around Anapa, a Russian summer resort, and on the beaches of Kerch and Sevastopol in Crimea. RT's Anastasia Volodina reports.
Capture, clean, treat, feed and rehabilitate. This has become the daily routine for thousands of volunteers across Russia's Krasnodar region, working relentlessly since the end of last year to deal with the effects of one of the region's worst fuel spills.
Birds get into the oil and then they can't take off. That is, they are in shallow water. You can see how the bird flaps its wings. It cannot fly because it is on an oil slick. Therefore, in the end, the volunteers also began to provide first aid to the birds.
People of all ages and occupations gather daily at volunteer stations all across the Black Sea shore to try to mitigate the effects of the catastrophe.
With unwavering determination and despite all the health risks involved, they continue to combat the aftermath of the ecological disaster, giving their all to restore the shores.
From the moment of the disaster, we spontaneously gathered, organized a headquarters, and subsequently established contact with the administration and other volunteer headquarters.
And I don't just help here. I've been doing environmental rafting all my life.
Of course, we had to visit a mine where nearly 900 tons of oil were reportedly collected in just 2 days. And for safety reasons, we were required to wear this full protective gear, which consists of this yellow hazmat suit, gloves, shoe covers, and a gas mask, which I had to take off while we're filming.
December's catastrophic fuel spills have also wreaked havoc on the shores of Anapa.
One of the volunteer hubs in Anapa was set up at this school where teachers and parents united to address a pressing environmental issue.
When we first learned about the oil spill, it was a shock, but they quickly gathered and realized that the city needed help.
Restoring the region's ecosystem will take a lot of time and resources. Some fear the once beautiful beaches could take a decade or more to fully recover. Until then, the fight to preserve the region's ecosystem continues, with government teams and volunteers sparing no effort in the challenge they face. Anastasia Volodina, RT, Krasnodar region.
British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, currently in Ukraine, has pledged to strengthen Ukraine's position against Russia. Earlier, loud blasts and air raid sirens echoed over Kiev as air defense systems intercepted a Russian drone attack just hours after Starmer's arrival. This marks Starmer's first official visit since taking office in July, aimed at signing a 100-year accord and bolstering support for Ukraine ahead of Donald Trump's return to the White House. Israel has accused Hamas of backtracking on parts of the Gaza ceasefire deal announced a day earlier and said that the cabinet will not meet on the deal until Hamas's agreement is confirmed. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office said in a statement that Hamas has reneged on parts of the agreement reached with the mediators and Israel in an effort to extort last-minute concessions. The statement added that the situation created a last-minute crisis. The statement added that the Israeli cabinet, which has yet to approve the agreement, will not convene until the mediators notify Israel that Hamas has accepted all elements of the agreement. The statement did not specify which parts of the deal were at issue. However, two senior Hamas leaders on Thursday rejected Israeli allegations that the Palestinian militant group was backtracking on elements of the Gaza ceasefire and hostage release deal announced the day before. UK High Commissioner Lindy Cameron and German Ambassador Dr. Philip Ackermann attended the second edition of visual artist Seema Kohli's ongoing project Khula Asman as she continues to exhume her family archives, material inheritance and oral accounts to recreate the memory of her ancestral home in Pind Dadan Khan before partition.
So what I loved in listening to her story was the way that it echoed through the generations of her family, and actually reminded me a lot of the way that in my family we tell the stories of, my grandparents, my great-grandparents, how some of their memories come through. And I love the way that she used the sense of smell, of taste, of colour, that sort of really the visual arts, but also the sort of sounds and smells that helped to sort of evoke that era, but also the way that it resonated differently for different generations. So for me, it was just a beautiful artistic way of describing some of the sort of fragmented memories, but also some of the way that changes over time. It was fascinating.
The story of partition, of memory, of the partition weighs heavier than elsewhere. So I thought it was a wonderful, very emotional, extremely artistic way of expressing it, and I was very fascinated and also touched by what Seema Kohli told us through her film, but also through the discussion afterwards.
And now all the news from the Mahakumbh, the largest religious congregation in the world. As the grand festivities of Kumbh 2025 unfold in full splendor, renowned Indian singer Shankar Mahadevan graced the sacred city of Prayagraj with an unforgettable musical performance. His soulful and devotional melodies captivated the massive crowd, creating an electrifying atmosphere that had everyone on their feet dancing in pure joy. During his performance, Shankar Mahadevan expressed his heartfelt gratitude to the Government of India for offering him the incredible opportunity to be part of such a historic and spiritually significant event, and shared his deep sense of honour and gratitude, emphasising how fortunate he felt to have the chance to perform in the presence of millions in the divine energy of the Kumbh Mela.
144 years के बाद आ रहा है और उसमें मुझे गाने का मौका मिला. इसमें सिर्फ मैं शिव जी का धन्यवाद, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया का धन्यवाद, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ यूपी का धन्यवाद और मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कल्चर का धन्यवाद दूंगा. और सभी लोग जिन्होंने इतना परिश्रम किया है, ये मतलब प्रोग्राम जितना स्मूथली चल रहा है, लाखों करोड़ों लोग आ रहे हैं, 40 करोड़ लोग एक्सपेक्टेड है, लेकिन इतना स्मूथली यहाँ पर चल रहा है. आई रियली थैंक एंड माई हैट्स ऑफ टू द ऑर्गेनाइजिंग कमिटी.
That's all for this edition of DD India Live. Do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. Connect with us on our different social media handles at DD India Live. And you can also download our DD India mobile app for quick news and updates on the go. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Tanvi Taneja from all of us here in New Delhi. Thank you for watching. Namaskar.